Welcome back in. Oklahoma Sooners on SI, continuing to count down to game week. Today we're previewing the Oklahoma defense. Who might be that X factor? Ryan Chapman here alongside John Hoover and Carson Field. All right, same drill as yesterday. We talked about the offense. Who would be the X factor? Not a Mateer, not an Ott. Who's that guy that can really raise the game? I think there's just one guy we disqualified with the defense. R. Mason Thomas. He's that dude. We know it. Who needs to take their game to the next level or bring a big level of consistency that could really elevate this defense? John, I'll head to you first. Who are you looking at? Who do you have your eyeballs on for this OU defense?
Yeah, the Oklahoma defense has a lot of candidates that you could say he's a returning starter. He's going to make a difference. He's going to be a big player. But a guy that doesn't have a ton of starting experience, he's played a lot, but not a ton of starting experience, coming off a little bit of an injury, Payton Bowen. He's going to come in. He's going to solidify that safety position. Excuse me. This kid's football IQ might be the highest on the team. He's so smart. And with Billy Bowman now in the NFL, right? The middle of Oklahoma's defense, their secondary, the deep part especially, they really need to be able to hold up and be at least as good as they were last year. Payton Bowen did have to fight through some injuries last season. He kind of got lost. He kind of lost the job, I guess, the starting job, so to speak, to Robert Spears-Jennings, who, if you think about it, RJ came in and he really went in and took the starting job. He played tremendous football all season at the other safety spot next to Bowman. RJ posted some of the best, highest grades on the team, defensive grades on the team, according to Pro Football Focus. Meanwhile, you got Payton Bowen coming back. He's played in all 13 games each of the last 2 years. He's kind of fought through injuries, but he's been pretty busy. 7 starts, 70 career tackles. Now that the other safety spot is Payton's place, you like that? And if you think about it, Eli Bowen, if he's able to get back from that injury that's hindered him pretty much the whole offseason, then half of Oklahoma's starting secondary will be from the Bowen family. That's pretty cool.
It would be pretty cool, especially for Mama and Papa Bowen. Special group there. And who can forget coming on like a house of fire? A couple of pump blocks as a true freshman. 2 pump
Right.
blocks where he's basically said, maybe not supposed to do that, but that's just his feel for the game. He's got that there. Carson, are you also looking on the back end of Oklahoma's defense to see an X factor here?
I am, and I'm going safety too. Who've mentioned Robert Spears-Jennings. That's who I'm going with. When I got this job last year, that was about second to last week of the season. Obviously, did a bunch of research, and the first guy that stuck out to me was Robert Spears-Jennings, and just how much of a difference maker he had been, despite the pass defense struggling, despite the overall just team not doing as well as it should have compared to preseason expectations. Spears-Jennings just really brought a lot of flashiness to the defense, size, athleticism. I think he finished 4th in the nation in forced fumbles, which is very impressive. Ball hawk type of player. I think he gets even better this year without Billy Bowman next to him. I think learning with Billy Bowman, obviously now on the Atlanta Falcons, I think that's instrumental for a player like Robert Spears-Jennings. Obviously, the coaches think highly of him considering he was one of the representatives at SEC Media Days. And you've got to think that he's just somebody in the secondary that some of those newcomers and younger players they can really look up to, seeing, hey, there were a lot of things wrong with this team last year. Robert Spears-Jennings' performance on the field was not one of them. So I think he's going to be equally big, if not bigger, in 2025.
RSJ also got to step into a big role off the field as well without Billy Bowman, who was in Billy's own way, the vocal leader. He always would step up when things aren't going well. He'd be that kind of guy. Robert Spears-Jennings is going to be a huge vocal piece of that secondary as well. Guys, I looked around. I considered a lot. I know we only ruled out R. Mason Thomas, but for me, I thought Kip a little too consistent, a little too good to be in this role. And same with those 2 or 3 guys in that rotation up front on the interior defensive line. So I went back to the linebacker room and looked at Sammy Omosigho making that slide over from Cheetah to the interior battling with Kobe McKenzie, a guy that if you look at returning tackles, 3rd on the team, Sammy Omosigho, a year ago as far as guys coming back in, which might be surprising until you remember everything he had to do at that Cheetah spot once Kendall Dolby went down against Tennessee. He showed all the athleticism he has sideline to sideline, all that space he can cover. And I just thought to myself, man, Danny Stutzman and Kip Lewis were a really formidable pairing at linebacker a year ago. There's going to be a lot of Kobe McKenzie, but if you're talking 3rd and medium, 3rd and long, you can toss Kip Lewis and Sammy Omosigho out there with maybe a Kendall Daniels, like some guys like that. That suddenly becomes a defense that you don't really want to run against. And certainly you might think, oh, let's scheme some matchups here. Omosigho has the athleticism to be a difference maker in the passing game as far as a guy dropping in. And I think that a year ago, the big weakness I would say for Oklahoma's defense was when they dropped into zone, especially during some of those seams across the middle of the field. I really think that Kip Lewis and Sammy Omosigho together can really ratchet that up and make that a lot better. And that could take Oklahoma another 2 or 3 leaps forward on third down specifically. And I think that starts a lot with what Sammy's doing alongside Kip Lewis. So Sammy Omosigho, my guy, I'm looking for to take Oklahoma's defense to the next level. Tomorrow, we're just going to look across the whole team, gentlemen, and see if we can find the breakout player of the year for the Oklahoma Sooners as we continue to march our way toward week 1 and OU and Illinois State. Follow us all the usual ways. Head to the website, OklahomaSoonersOnSI.com. You can also find us on Who's YouTube page, John Hoover Media. Follow us on all the social medias at Sooners on SI on X. And then you can find us on Facebook, Oklahoma Sooners on SI. We got the page, all the great content. Like it, it'll come straight to your feed. For Carson, for Hoove, I'm Ryan. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow previewing our candidates for Oklahoma's breakout player of the year.